I'm a high school English teacher, and I'm the department chair at Legacy High School. And I can't say that I've always dreamt of being a teacher. I've always loved training and teaching kids how to do things, whether it's arts and crafts or cooking or whatever, through whatever scouting organization I was involved with. But when my husband had a heart attack in 1999, I knew that I needed to go back to school. But I learned I was a pretty good writer. So, and really that's kind of my strong suit as a teacher as well. The other thing about choosing a career was I had 3 children and I wanted the same schedule as them. So teaching is perfect for that, but I didn't know how much I would love it. The students I teach are just fantastic. I'm very lucky, and I don't know how I will influence them, but I just know that I do. Well, I think I've had several, depending on what stage of life I was in. For example, I was a Girl Scout volunteer, and I was also a program developer for Girl Scouts about 20 years ago. And I was at Ava Jane Warren. It was Warren at the time, then Ava Jane Fuller. She is one of the most godly and spiritual women I've ever met, and always knew what to say and what to do. And then another part of my life, my family life, I would say my mom and my oldest sister. Now I have got 3 sisters and a brother. We were farm kids, and my mom was a farm wife, only had a 9th grade education, but she could drive a tractor and bale hay just like any man could do. I'm sorry, I think it's a man's world out there, and she could do it. Nothing intimidated her. And then my oldest sister was the first one in our family to go to college. And I watched her go off to the university, and I thought, what is that all about? Why does she want to go to college? And the closer I got to being that age, I thought, I want that too. And then she got her master's degree, and I thought, oh, a master's degree? And she was a farm wife also. And she did that, and I thought, what? You can be a farm wife and go to college and have a career? I just didn't know that that was a thing. And she just kind of did it. And then I went out and got my master's degree as well. So I would say those are my 3 mentors. The time I struggled the most was in 1999 when my husband had a heart attack. He was 50. I was, in my 30s, and we had 3 children. Our youngest was 3. Our oldest was about 12. And he survived it and has had another heart attack since, but that was the wake-up call that told me that I needed to make sure that I have a way to support myself and our 3 kids in case something happens to him. So I went back to school. But the cool thing about that is my children watched me go through it. They watched me go to not miss a day of school. They watched me work hard. Now, laundry didn't get done. There weren't very many home-cooked meals, lots of fish sticks and frozen pizzas, but they watched me do it. They were at my graduations, which I just loved that they were able to see me do that. So, and my mom was able to see me do that too. Being willing to take a risk. You're not always going to be popular when you're a leader. I'm the department chair at Legacy High School, and sometimes I have to make decisions that are not very popular amongst my teachers. You have to look at things in a different way. You have to get advice from the other people you're working with to see if something is actually doable. So you can't do it all yourself. Family, faith, and nice clothes. I'm sorry, that sounds really strange, but my family, I've got 3 children, and I love them dearly. I think they're growing into a better person better people than I ever was. Then my faith, I'm a regular churchgoer. I know that when I follow the Bible, things turn out well. And nice clothes, I don't need to have expensive clothes, but I do like pretty clothes. Get a college degree and go ahead and get a master's degree. Pick something that leads to a job. Not all degrees lead to a job, but just make sure that you are able to support yourself in case something happens, because 10 years down the road, you don't know what things will be like. So get a college education.
We've been entrepreneurs from a very young age, having even little garage sales or sales in our garage and making crafts and all kinds of fun things as children.
We wanted to create, and the great thing was our parents said okay and gave us the opportunity to create, and then told us we could sell it and we could make money at it. So both of us were very entrepreneurial and did stuff really all the way through high school.
Yeah, our mom was just very encouraging. She claimed that she didn't have a lot of talent, but that she let us do things on her dining room table, and we've done things together our whole lives. Well, our grandfather was an artist, and he was also a businessman. He owned a grocery store, a little local grocery store on a corner. He was probably most, inspiring to us in the art part and the marketing. And then our grandmother, we had a very close family. Our grandparents, we were real close to them. She was very inspirational to the holidays, and
that's
Christmas.
Where the name Miss Casey's came from. That's actually our grandmother.
And our other set of grandparents on our dad's side, he did woodwork, and he made lamps and beautiful things out of wood. And so, like I said, he was very inspiring to us. Our family encouraged us to step out, step up, and not be afraid. So there wasn't really anything we didn't think we could accomplish.
Kathy and I jumped out there and decided we wanted to have a party store, and we went into it full force and just about lost our business. And during that time, we really had to dig in and figure out what we were doing, how we were going to do it, and how we were going to take care of it, because we weren't going to back down and we weren't going to run away, but we had to get a plan and stick to that plan, because we'd dug ourselves a pretty big hole financially. But God presented himself in such a way with the right people to be part of our team, and through our faith and through our husband's support and our family's support and our team's support, we were able to come out of that particular struggle, which was probably the biggest business struggle that we have had. Serving, it really, I think my personality, which you may see throughout this video, is to take the lead. And many times I was more of a dictator. You do this, this, and this. And I have learned that when we serve our team, that we're better leaders in doing things ourselves that teaches them what to do. But I think servant leadership is really better than dictator leadership.
And just being open to listen to your people and to listen to what's going on sometimes. And Becky and our personalities have meshed well, so we balance each other pretty well. So I lead out, in my own areas of expertise, and she definitely leads out in hers. So, it's kind of finding that everybody, I think, is a leader to somebody, and you've got to recognize that and not always just relinquish that or say, well, I'm not a leader, or I'm not called to that, or I'm not good at that, or whatever, and not be afraid to step up and step out.
Faith, family, friends. It starts with faith. That's the grounding that our parents and our family, the Casey women, gave to us, that we're so thankful for. Our mom told us always that our Christian heritage was something to be very proud of and to take to heart. And they instilled that in us, and something that we've not gone very far away from.
And make good choices. I just think your choices can affect the rest of your life. And, so trying to really surround yourself with the quality of people that inspire you, that hold you to account. I think.
Well,
have fun. I mean, I think that another priority that, goes along with those faith, and family and friends is to have fun. Sometimes we get so serious about everything in life that we just don't get out there and play kickball with our grandkids.
Choose your friends wisely.
Right. That'd be,
Find the friend that's going to be there for you, the one that's going to lift you up, not pull you down. You are enough, totally enough. And when the world and everyone and everything is telling you you're not, we're here to tell you you are enough. Being able to have those good friends makes a big difference. And there are people that you don't need to be friends with. You can love them from a distance. Our mom would tell us, I'll always love you. I don't like you very much right now by the way you're behaving, but I'll always love you. And there are friends that you need to have at arm's length and find the ones that are going to love and support you. And if you feel like you're being torn down all the time, it's time to, release that friend.
There's a saying that says you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. So you got to look at that and see, do I want to be the average of these people that are influencing me, that I'm spending a lot of time with? You want to be around balcony people that are cheering you on, come on, go this way, this is great, this is wonderful, you are enough. Not basement people that are constantly telling you what's wrong with you and what you and trying to lead you down the wrong path.
I strongly feel that God selected my career. When I was 5 years old, we were driving down the streets in San Antonio, and I saw a man holding a sign saying that he was hungry, and he looked a little rough. And my heart as a 5-year-old just made my father drive back and give him some money. And ever since then, I've always felt that God has guided me to help those in poverty. I feel that I've had so many mentors, but besides my mom and my dad, I gotta say Mark Palmer. When they hired me to be the director of Odessa Links 20 years ago, him, Cindy Willie, Renee Earls, Kathy Herzog, they invested in any trainings that I needed to be the director. They took a chance with me of not knowing so much about the nonprofit world, and they invested a lot of their time in training me with the condition that I turn around and pay it forward to other people as well, and I have. My faith has really got me through rough times. My husband has had kidney failure, and I had to learn to step away from serving to take care of my family. But with the blessings of God, I stepped away for a little bit and he put me back in when it was time to. And so I have learned, I never take anything for granted. I have learned that, and when it's time for me to serve, I roll up my sleeve and get to work. It's all about mentoring others. We gotta mentor our youth so we can continue to give back to our community and make a difference. And it doesn't matter what you're involved in, just to give back to our community because it's needed. So I strongly feel mentoring others is very important. And that's part of being a leader, is to educate others for the future of our community. One, God. Without him, I'm not able to get through days, hard days, easy days, no matter what. I'm just so grateful that he's in my life. Another thing is mentoring others. If anybody calls me, hey, I need help, I am there for you. I will answer any questions, or I will refer you to, someone that needs it. Come up with homeless programs, because we're so far behind in time in the Midland, Odessa area. We need to do more There's so much mental issues going on in our community with parents and kids. We need to all come together and find more solutions and programs to be able to help them, because they are our future. Enjoy life, because we're only here once, and impact others. They may not remember you, and that's not what matters. It's just impacting someone's life or making a difference. And that's why I love my job, because I get to do that with our homeless families. You're gonna come up challenges, and those challenges are just stepping stones for your future to prepare how to handle those challenges later on. And they're gonna be harder challenges in life. So take it in, learn from it, and just remember, again, just move forward and find a support. Girls should always find support. It may not be your parents, but find your godmother, cousin, aunt, anyone. Find that support that is gonna be your secret person to go to.
Well, it's certainly not a typical pathway for a president for me. I graduated from high school at 18 and got married right away and had 2 small children and working full time. And so it would take me 10 years and 2 babies, I like to say, to finish my undergraduate degree. And so, I didn't come up through the normal pathways of being a faculty member or a provost. I really was a practitioner. I went to work for the Alabama legislature as a financial analyst when I was finishing my master's degree in business, and then went to work for the Commission on Higher Education. And that's when I knew that I wanted to pursue the pathway that I'm on now. And so I started working on my doctoral degree there at the Commission on Higher Education when I was working with lots of presidents and in higher education. And it would take me another, 5 years to finish that degree while working in several different campuses. So that is when I knew that this really was a career pathway that I could have an impact. And so that's why I chose it. So Tom Lazelle hired me to be the vice president for finance in Kentucky. So I worked for the Kentucky Higher Education Board for a while, and he was a wise person. He was he had a great sense of humor, which I really value in a person. It's really an important attribute, I think, to be able to not take yourself so seriously and laugh. But he was very wise and very accomplished in higher education, and he really took me under his wing. He also, I think, was a person who was particularly dedicated to the work itself. He wasn't a person who chased a title or even accolades. So I learned so much from him. He was so wise and wonderful, and I still, keep up with him today. Well, I think, during the period of time after I left and stepped down from the University of Louisiana system, while I was looking for my next career opportunity, I was afraid. At some point during that I was in my early 50s at that point, and I thought, am I ever going to have the opportunity to work again in this career that I love so much? And so I think that was my most fearful time. I again, am really proud of the way I came through that. It was humbling to go through that experience, but I think it made me a better person, and I think it made me a better leader. The leaders that I'm most inspired by are those who are motivated by the work. Leaders that I think are most impactful are those who focus on what can I do to make an impact for someone else, that greater good, that something larger than yourself kind of leader. So I think that's the kind of leader that I really have such respect for and try really hard to be. Well, my top priority is family. I have a lovely, wonderful family. My husband, I have 3 amazing children and 3 beautiful grandchildren. I have 200 pounds worth of German Shepherds. I'm a German Shepherd enthusiast. They are in my family as well. And my top priority is to make sure that I can love and support my family and to make sure that they have great lives. The other major priority for me is the impact that I have here in this community, in the Permian Basin, and in my work. It is so rewarding to be able to literally every day make a difference in the lives of real people, our students, our faculty, our staff members. It's such a humbling honor every day to be able to work in that arena and make a difference here. So family and the impact of the university, those are my two top priorities. Well, I do think that the most important attribute is the hard work. That stick-to-itiveness, that determination, that grit. That's more important than really any other thing in their success, in someone's success. You have to work outside of your job description, sometimes with not much reward at that moment, but the reward is that people will notice. Your reputation follows you, good or bad. And as my father used to say, whether you are working for a fast food restaurant, which I did some of that, or whether you are the president of a university, let your reputation be one of hard work and dedication. And not only will people notice, but you actually, most importantly, will be able to have an impact in other people's lives.